Hey, what's up everyone? GameDad here, coming at you guys with part 3 of my current PlayStation 1 collection. So, as always, we're just going to dive right in and check out what games there are. Alright, now up first is Madden 98, released by EA Sports in 1997. And most of the time I don't really care for sports games all that much, but this one, I don't know, graphically it just kind of jumped out at me a little more. It didn't have that super realism, but it had kind of an interactive sprite sort of feel. So it has that retro feel to it without being overly realistic like a lot of modern sports games are. Now, here we have Madden 2002, released by EA Sports in 2001. You know, they're always a year ahead. And in this one, this game did not appeal to me at all. It looked like they were still trying to kind of do that sprite thing, but also trying to make it look 3D. Everything is really boxy. And overall, I mean, it was a little cumbersome just to figure out the plays and how to get the game to do what I wanted. Now up next we have Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX, released by Activision in 2001, and this takes your typical Tony Hawk style formula. So you got some different skate parks, different courses and things like that, except now you are riding BMX. So you get to do a bunch of different bike tricks. Now, in one of my other collection videos, I actually showed off the Dave Mirra BMX game, and I gotta say, this Matt Hoffman one is a lot better. It's smoother, the graphics are better, and it just plays nicer overall. Now up next we have MDK, released by Neversoft in 1998, and this game was a little weird to me. It feels like it mixes a few different kind of styles. It sort of has a battle arena feel to it, and then it also has kind of a shooter feel. But overall, I mean, it was pretty fun. The aiming mechanic in it is kind of strange. It doesn't look like it's actually aiming anywhere, yet it's hitting whatever target is in front of it, even if that target happens to be airborne. So, strange, but fun game. Now here we have Medal of Honor, released by EA in 1999, and boy has this series come a long way since this game. This game, it's very dark, it's super clunky, the controls are not intuitive at all. I mean, I really see where they were trying to go with it, but you kind of have to move one stick, hold a button, move another stick just to get it to aim. Like, there is no fast-paced action to this at all. So here we have Mega Man 8, released by Capcom in 1997, and this one was kind of weird to me. I mean, it definitely has all of the mechanics you would expect in a Mega Man game. As you can see there, I had that charge-up shot, and you got lots of little creatures and different robotic things and enemies, but it totally had a cartoon feel to it, which was just weird. I don't recall any other Mega Man games really having this level of like a cartoon animation to it. Now here is Mega Man X6, released by Capcom in 2001, and this felt a lot more familiar than Mega Man 8. It definitely kept with the whole theme of the X series, and it was really cool to see, like, you know, the Mega Man X armor and get that charge shot, the different level aspects to it, various enemies. The whole graphical style of it just felt more like an actual Mega Man game compared to Mega Man 8. Up next is an absolute classic, that is Metal Gear Solid, released by Konami in 1998. And if you have not played this original Metal Gear Solid game, I highly recommend it. It is basically, I mean, it's where it all started, really. There were definitely other Metal Gear games, but this is the first one that really just defined what a Metal Gear Solid game could be. You know, you got your sneaking around, you have all of the stealth aspects to it, and graphically, I mean, especially for the time, this game was pretty darn amazing. Now, I am a huge fan of the Metal Slug series, and that includes Metal Slug X, released by ProSoft in 2001, and this game just takes all of the classic Metal Slug action that everybody knows and loves, and it just puts it in a nice little package on PlayStation 1. You get to go through, play as whatever character that you would like, and just run and gun and shoot everything in sight. Excellent, excellent game. Now here we have MIB, that's Men in Black the series, Crashdown, released by Infogrames in 2001. And this one, I mean, it actually controlled fairly well. I was kind of surprised. I thought it would be more of a, you know, kind of knockoff style shooter kind of game, but it was actually pretty nice. I mean, it ran smooth. Aiming controls were very easy and intuitive to figure out, and graphically it really isn't that bad. From the artwork that's on the box, you'd think it would be extremely cheesy, but it really wasn't. Now here we have Mortal Kombat 4, released by Midway in 1998. Now, I am a big fan of the Mortal Kombat series, but honestly, I did not like this version of the game. It's very weird. I mean, the graphics that they went with, they don't mesh well with all of the games prior to this. It looks like they just got way in over their head on the 3D, and it just doesn't look good to me. And I mean, it seems like extra fast, and I don't know, I did not care for this at all. I would much rather play Mortal Kombat 3. Now up next is Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero, released by Midway in 1997. And this one is kind of unique for a Mortal Kombat game because you're actually doing more of a side-scrolling beat-em-up kind of game instead of the traditional, get in the ring and fight with your next opponent like every other Mortal Kombat game. So, I mean, I had fun with this, but it was definitely weird to get used to actually just side-scrolling through and beating up whatever enemy came next. It was a different approach to it for sure. Up next is Namco Museum Volume 3, released by Namco in 1997. And as you can see, it's got a few different games on it. Miss Pac-Man, Galaxian, Dig Dug. So I went ahead and chose Dig Dug because I actually really enjoy that game from back in the day. And as you can see, it is just a collection of the old school games, and you just rock out and play. You just have fun with some old classics. So I really enjoyed playing this. It was cool. Now here we have NASCAR 2001, released by EA in 2001. So there's something you don't see every day, a year game actually being released in its year. And normally I don't like these kind of games, just like any of the EA sports games, I'm not a huge fan. But this one, I was actually having fun. I found myself playing this a lot longer than I had originally anticipated on doing. And that was because, man, I just kept getting closer and closer and just trying to pass all of the other racers that were on the track. So I kept going until I got first, and then I stopped after that. Up next is Nicktoons Racing, released by Infogrames in 2001, and oh boy, so this game, I mean, it controls okay. It's not the worst racing game I've ever played by any means, but I mean, it's kind of cool, the concept behind it, just like every other kind of racer game. This one has different Nickelodeon characters in it. As you can see, I'm playing as Tommy from the Rugrats right here, but honestly, I mean, graphically, it's not impressive. It's very blocky and ugly looking, and I would much rather play Crash Team Racing if I was going to play a PS1 game. Now here we have Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, released by Oddworld Inhabitants in 1997. And this was kind of like the big mainstream start for the Oddworld games. And I have actually always been a fan of the Oddworld games. I remember playing them on handheld and then on console, and I always had a ton of fun with them. I mean, they were dark, they were weird, unique, and, overall they were just, odd. But the game, it controls nice, it's got easy on the eye graphics, and it's just a fun platformer. Up next is Oddworld Abe's Exodus, released by Oddworld Inhabitants in 1998, and this was the successor to Abe's Odyssey. So you got a little bit smoother graphics, a slight update, it's 1 year later, and this time they introduce a few new mechanics to the game, things like that, and they also reintroduce you to the old ones, the old control schemes, but this one, I still had a lot of fun playing through this one, honestly. I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's not some major advancement. They found their working formula, and they just stuck with it. Now, the last one for this video is Pipe Dreams 3D, released by Empire Interactive in 2001. And it takes that old classic game, Pipe Dreams, where you start going, and then the ooze starts flowing through the pipe. Eventually the exit will show up, and you just gotta guide the ooze to the pipe. Usually you end up with a limited number of actual parts that you can use, but it's kind of cool seeing it like in a 3D setting. I mean, it's nothing earth-shattering, but it was still fun to play. So that is everything that is in part 3 of my current PlayStation 1 collection. Have you noticed any games that are missing from your collection in these videos? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, please go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons, as well as that notification bell, that way you get an alert every time I got a new video coming out. Now, as always, I'm GameDad. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you later.